Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Nick from NICKSAYSGO.com. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I talk about everything from, grooming, style, home decor, and more. But today we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I got something on my heart, I'm feeling, I want to talk about, and that's the new year. I really want to share some of my goals, some of my intentions for the year, some things I would like to see from myself, from others, some things I would like to accomplish this year, and just some general thoughts about how I'm feeling coming into the new year, and just trying to keep that good mental energy up, right? Before I really get too deep, I will say one thing I've been working on a lot lately is trying to be more gentle with myself. 2020 was unlike any other year we've ever dealt with, between all the loss, all the death, the layoffs, anything you can think of, right? The world is just in shambles this last year. And I'm such a go-getter, right? I'm always moving and shaking. I always feel like I have to move on to the next thing. I have to do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. And I had to remember, like, it's okay this year to just survive, yo. Like, just to wake up in the morning in good health, is a flex in itself right now. Like, that's more than enough. Everything else can wait, everything else can move on its own time. We're just trying to survive, we're just trying to live. I'm just trying to keep my head right so I don't go crazy, and all of that is enough. So if you're in the same boat, if you're feeling like you're not doing enough right now, you're feeling like there's more you could be tackling right now, like, don't fall into that trap. It's okay right now. Like, literally, just if you're watching this and you're at the crib and you're good and you're safe, you got a roof over your head, you know where your next meal is coming from right now, I promise you're good. So start there, stick to that. Now, as far as like some personal goals go, I have a couple I really want to hit this year. Some things I told myself that I at least want to kind of stick to these as the roadmap for the year, right? When I'm moving and I'm doing things in my life, I want to stick to these things as sort of like a guiding path for how I operate going forward, especially this year. So one of the biggest things is I really want to get back in tune with my Buddhist faith, right? If you don't know, now you know. I am a practicing Buddhist. I've been Buddhist for about, I would say this year makes like 9 or 10 years. So it's been a little minute, and I've never strayed away from it, but I'm definitely not as intentional as I could and as I should be with it nowadays. I think, just getting caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, and, just how busy I am and things I'm doing. And just over time, I found myself being a little less intentional with it, right? I started meditating, less and less. I started reading, passages less and less, and just things like that. So, going forward, I really want to make sure I'm as in tune with that side of myself as I possibly can be. Buddhism is a big part of who I am. It's a big part of how I operate, how I move, how I think, how I approach and handle situations. I try to tap into that side of myself a lot of the time to really, just make sure I'm making the most comfortable decision, and, that I'm just being mindful of how I'm feeling and how I'm thinking and all of that. So that's a really, really, really big one for me this year. After that, I really want to make sure I'm taking time to nourish my friendships and my relationships in the best way. 2020 kind of took me for a loop, threw me for a loop a little bit. There were a lot of people who I was kind of cool with before the pandemic started that I got really, really, really close with. There was some people who, I was really close with, and then we kind of fell apart a little bit, which is okay. We're all dealing with things in our own way. I'm not I don't, that's not a bad thing, I should say. It's just something I'm paying attention to. And then, there's some people that, we kind of flex back and forth, but I want to make sure no matter where I am with somebody, no matter how often we talk, whether it's once a day or once every 6 months, that, if they mean something to me, I really want to make sure I'm fostering that relationship you know, keeping it active, making sure I'm giving people their flowers while they're still here. Life is so fickle and so fragile, and I never want to, you know, God forbid, like lose somebody that I cherish, and you know, I didn't get a chance to give them the flowers while they were still here. So, you know, whether it's a friend, you know, family member, whoever, I definitely want to make sure I'm at least working on that, trying to make sure I cherish them, give them their flowers while they're here. Following that same pattern, I want to make sure I'm giving myself that same love and that same grace, right? I need to, you know, be gentle with myself, be kinder with myself. I need to, you know, make time to take care of myself and date myself and, you know, uplift myself more. You know, I'm very much a people first person. I can be, you know, I'm not a people pleaser in that full sense, but I definitely can, you know, fall into the trap of just putting other people first a lot of the time. I just want to take care of other people, just make sure other people are good, but I need to really make sure I'm taking care of myself, making sure that that part is handled. I'm feeling good, taking care of my physical, taking care of my mental, my spirit, everything. And just getting my ducks in a row and just making sure that, you know, before I can truly help somebody else, I need to make sure I help myself first, and that I'm in a very solid spot and that my cup is full. And then, you know, when I'm needed or when I need to branch out and do something for somebody, like, I'm good to go. That's the kind of shit that'll stop you from getting so burned out. That's something I kind of find myself falling into a lot. I get burned out from time to time, and really it's nobody's fault other than my own. I just not taking care of myself the way I should sometimes. And yeah, so that's something I'm really gonna work on too, making sure that Nick is making time for Nick, making sure Nick is taking care of Nick, and we're gonna start there. Now, if you're a style guy like me, a fashion guy like me, yeah, you're gonna relate to this one. I really want to be more intentional with my purchases, with my spending. I'm not a frivolous spender, but I definitely fall into the trap of buying shit just because sometimes, or maybe not waiting to purchase something sometimes. You know, if I really want something, or like if I'm bored and, you know, this t-shirt is dope and it's like half off, I might go ahead and buy like 2 of them. And it's like, do you really need those shirts right now? Do you need them at all? Right? You know, is it dope? Yeah, but do you have to have it? Maybe not all the time. So I'm just trying to be more intentional with my spending. I don't need to buy or try to buy every sneaker that comes out on the sneakers app every Saturday morning. I don't need all the new Forces. I don't need all the new J's. I can take a break. You know, let me run through what I already have in my wardrobe a little bit first. You know, so yeah, I really want to be more intentional with my spending, making sure that the stuff I'm buying I actually truly care about. It's something I'm going to hold on to for a while and not just a season. And yeah, just go from there, man. It's easy to fall into that trap, especially when you're at the crib bored. You know, you've been alone for a little minute and you start browsing. Yeah, you're gonna want to spend some money. So intentional spending is on the 2021 must-do list. Another one of my goals, I really want to get back into making sure I'm learning more, right? And what I mean by that is not necessarily going to school, but I want to make sure I'm a constant learner. You know, whether I'm reading blogs or forums or, you know, research studies, you know, videos, talking to experts on things, reading more books, more magazines, more interviews, just learning, right? I want to make sure I'm constantly soaking in more information and the things that I care about, the things I'm passionate about. I really want to get more into that and making sure I'm doing a good job of soaking in more info, retaining more info, and not only that, but actually doing something with the info, whether it's teaching somebody else, whether it's working on a project, doing I don't know, anything, just doing something with the info once I get it. To one, make sure I truly understand, and two, to share it with somebody else. Somebody else might want this info, and it may be easier for them to receive it from you than, you know, reading or something else, right? So once you learn something new, share it with somebody else, man. Finally, I could go on and on and on, but to wrap this list up, I think something that's very important that I know is important for myself, but I feel like it's important for everybody on this planet. If you have the means and if it's accessible to you, and you know, I recommend going to therapy. Right. So I've been going to therapy for maybe about 3 or 4 years now, maybe about 3 years. 3 years, I would say. And you know, I've gone for a little bit and I'll fall off, and then I'll go for some time and kind of take a break again. But one of my goals for this year is to really make sure I'm consistently going on a consistent schedule. And even when I am in a great place, I want to make sure I'm still consistently going, you know, so I can reinforce those good habits, you know, making sure that I'm not putting on an internal facade, right? Making sure I'm really consistently doing the work, not only for myself, you know, so I could be the best version of Nick for Nick, but I want to be the best version of Nick for you all, for my family, my parents, you know, potential relationships with my friends or whoever, right? I want to make sure I'm putting forth the best effort and the best version of myself going forward at all times. So definitely, you know, I'm going to make that effort to make sure I'm consistently going to my therapist, making sure those sessions are on point and I'm doing the work. You know what I mean? I could go on and on and on, but that's my short list of goals for 2021, intentions I'm setting for myself, things I want to do for myself and for others. And we're going to speak it out, put it into the universe so the universe can hold me accountable. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching. Please, in the comments below, share your intentions, your goals for 2021. Like I said, it doesn't have to be big. It can be, yo, if you just want to survive, you just want to make it to see your birthday, you want to make it to the end of the year, you know, whatever the case, let me know below and we'll make sure we hold each other accountable. We'll take care of each other and we'll go from there. Thank you as always. Until next time, peace.